What is up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to our devotional series. We're doing My One Word. That's the big sermon series on Sunday mornings, and it's really what these devotions have been all about. That as we're doing 21 days of prayer and fasting, we're focusing that on, God, what is the word that you've given me for this next season of life? Well, I was talking to one of our guys yesterday. He was down front just saying hi, and I said, hey, what's your word? There's a bunch of words on the board behind me. I said, what's your word? And he goes, my word is grounded. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And we got that. So let's talk about being grounded. If your word is grounded, I think that there is a phrase in the scriptures that's used a few times. Jesus uses it, James uses it, and then of course the Apostle Paul uses it in the book of Ephesians. I'm going to read from that one. But the phrase they use is tossed to and fro, right? Like in the book of James, it says that, no, when you seek God, make sure you pray, and don't pray with doubt, but pray in faith, because anyone with doubt is like a wind and wave tossed to and fro. So that's where we don't want to be, right? I even think about the writer of Hebrews that said, hey, this unchanging gospel that we believe in, this unchanging good news that God has given us, that is the anchor of our soul. So again, I think about being grounded. So let's look at Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 4 says something interesting. He uses that phrase tossed to and fro, but I want you to see what it is that keeps you from being tossed to and fro. James already told you, when you have a lack of faith and you're filled with doubt, you're going to be wavering all the time. Listen to what he says. He goes, so Christ gave the church apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up until we all reach unity in the faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Then, that's the key word, right? That's a transitional word. Then, meaning in light of that, then you will no longer be infants tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and by the cunning and craftiness of people in their deceitful scheming. He goes on, there's more good stuff there, but I thought, he's addressing the church of Ephesus and he's saying, hey, recognize that Jesus established this thing called the church, but he gave it certain ministry positions: apostles, prophets, pastors, teachers, and evangelists. I didn't do that in right order. Please, sorry about that. But those are it. And he goes, if you will submit your life underneath that, then that's what's going to keep you grounded, keep you from being tossed to and fro. So think about that. Being in a church where you have these big ministry offices really kind of like overseeing you, guiding you, helping you, all these things, that's what's going to keep you grounded. So let's talk about all five. The first one is the apostle, and I just want to say that rather than trying to define these very, very particularly, I'm going to define them a little more vaguely. The apostle was the ultimate authority over the church. He's the one that started the church, planted the church, got it going. Again, the apostolic ministry is a ministry that oversees. And so what I would ask you is this: if you don't feel like you're grounded, do you have an authority figure in your life, right? Do you have a person that you say, no, before I go do anything, man, I have an authority figure in my life. Maybe it's a pastor, maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's somebody else, but I don't just go do stuff. I don't just go make decisions. I don't just go marry people. I don't just go take jobs. I just don't go do. No, I have authority figures in my life. Think about the next one. The next one is the prophet. The question is this: do you have a prophetic voice in your life? Meaning, what's God saying to you right here, right now? That's the prophetic voice, right? The scriptures give you foundation and principle and revelation, of course, but like the ready right now moments, that's that prophetic message. What's God saying to you right now? Here's a question, because God put the evangelist in your life. The question I would ask you to say is this: what's your mission? The evangelist had a clear-cut mission. He knew he was going to spread the gospel to wherever it was that he was called. He had a mission and a cause. So again, do you have authority in your life? That grounds you. Do you have a mission and a calling in your life? Because the mission that you have for your life will keep you grounded. What's the prophetic voice, right? Fourth one is this: hey, do you have a pastor in your life? Do you have a shepherd? And in this sense, I think that I'd ask the question, do you have somebody that's looking out for your soul? right? Like, man, I just don't think I'm doing good. I've been kind of depressed. I've been stressed. I've been anxious. I've been angry. I've been, go anywhere. Who do you go with those things? Do you have somebody who is a shepherd over your soul? That's a great question. That'll keep you grounded. And the last one is this. The last one was the teacher. The last question I would ask you is this, is like, what are you reading? Who are your teachers? What are you learning right now? Because if your life is kind of submitted, right, to where, no, I have authority figures in my life. I have a prayer life where I'm hearing the voice of God right here, right now. I have a mission, and that keeps me grounded. I have somebody caring for my soul, and I have people teaching me. I am constantly learning. Now think about it. What would your life look like if you had those kind of things, those kind of people operating in your life? My guess is that you would feel very, very grounded. Church, I love you so much. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.